Now there is something of interest though, and it was pointed out to me. I didn't actually show the camshaft timing. This is very important. Very important. I wonder if I'm just going to reposition. No, I know. I'll stand it like that. Yeah, you can see now. You'll be able to see. I'm just going to zoom in very slightly because I want to show you this. Right, the camshaft sprocket is twice as big as the crankshaft sprocket. The reason being that the crankshaft goes around twice for every once of the camshaft. And I showed you how the valves open on the little lifters. So what I'm going to do is just pop those in for a moment. I'll just turn that upside down. I'm holding the valves. And where are they? They're here because I've cleaned them. So they go in. No, we're not quite high enough now. Let me just tip the camera slightly if I can. There we are. Right, they go in those holes there like that. Turn the crankshaft out of the way. And they go in like that. And then the camshaft goes in. That way round, of course. And it goes on there in that hole. And it presses and opens the valves. So when it turns, it opens the valves. Now, so I've left the springs off so we can see everything. That won't drop out. Now I'm going to turn it this way around again. Because we need the timing marks and camshafts have to be timed. Well, yeah, I can't see it now. It's dark in here. There we are. Now, if you get that level with the top, and the piston is what they call top dead centre, and that is with a crank at the very top, and that means the piston, I can show you that, right, you see the piston come down and then it goes there, and that is top dead centre, and it's exactly what it says. The piston's at the very top and the crank's vertical. Now on that gear that I took off, this one, I said it wasn't handed. Now I don't think it'll focus on. Let me just put the engine down a minute and put my hand there because it does sometimes there. Right, now you can see it, look. See that little tiny dot there? Well, that's the timing mark. And on the camshaft sprocket, if it will focus, there is there we are. If you just get it, there's a timing mark there. So those two have to line up. But at the moment it doesn't line up. But that's at top dead centre. Now the valves need to be what they call rocking. And what it means is they're actually both just shut. But if I turn it both ways like that, you can see that one opens then the other one, because that's not on the power stroke. I'll explain in a moment. So we put that there with those lobes facing upwards, and we put this sprocket on, and you can see that little peg there. Yes, you can see that. So we put that on. There's a slot there which you can see if I come back a little bit. There we are. So we put that on like that. Now if the timing marks are not lined up, but we turn it round and you will see that you have to go around twice probably. No, my fault. I put the blooming sprocket on upside down. What am I doing? That way round. Right. There we are. And I've done it round again. But look, go round and you can now see that those marks just there with my thumb there, right, closer you can actually see, it's a little tiny blurred there maybe, but that dot is in the sprocket with the peg in it, so that means it's timed properly. So that's how you time an engine up. And I did, now another thing by the way, when you take it off, before you take any sprockets or anything off, it's a very good idea just to put a dot of paint or a little line across. It can be anywhere, it can be there if you like. Where that sprocket goes in that cog, just put a dot of paint on there and a dot there and make your own marks, because that way you won't be wrong. Anyway, we've got the piston in and we've got the valves in. So this is the back of the engine, so it should go this way round. Should go this way round. You know, I'm wondering now, they've got everything else wrong on this engine. I'm wondering if that's the front of the engine with the dot and it's at the back of the engine. You know, I think they got the piston on the wrong way around as well, because I've already found 4 faults with it. So I might, it doesn't matter on this engine, it's not going to run much. Anyway, what happens is, we'll tip the engine up like that so you can see the top. Right, that's the exhaust stroke. And that valve shuts and that valve opens, right? Just there, can you see that's the inlet valve? There, now you see that valve open and the piston goes down like that. That's called an engine. A 4-stroke engine works very simply, it's suck, squeeze, bang, blow. That's how you remember it. That's shut, both valves are shut, that's your compression stroke, that's your power stroke, because both valves are shut. That's when the spark occurs and the petrol air mixture in the cylinder, which of course is covered by the head, just remember that the head's on, it goes like that, so the head's on there, like that, and it squeezes the gases and the spark goes, ignites it and it burns. It doesn't explode, it burns very fast and it pushes the piston down like that, and then just before it gets to the bottom the exhaust valve opens and the piston comes up and blows the burnt gases out. Then the inlet valve opens and you've got the intake stroke again, where it sucks in the petrol air mixture, which is about 14 to 1, so you've got about 14 parts of air to 1 of petrol. Right, so there we are, that's how the engine works. So it comes up like that and you've got an inlet stroke, then you've got the compression stroke where it presses the gases, squeezes them very tight, then you've got the power stroke and then the exhaust stroke. So there we are. So that's how an engine works. So I thought that just might be something of interest. I've nearly got this cover done for cleaning look, and if you remember the outside was very grufty. I'll just zoom the camera out again now. There we are. Look, we've got that all cleaned up, that's all done, and the inside, as you can see, it's perfect, isn't it? It's perfect. There's just one, using a rotary wire brush, there's 1 or 2 little bits you can probably see there I'm going to have to do with hand, and that's the only time that a shot blaster is better. But as you can see, it's all clean. If you shot blast them, they can leave it slightly dusty, so then you can wash them again of course, but there shouldn't be any need. But there, I thought that's what we've got done so far. And if you look at what passes for the oil pump, I mean that doesn't need touching. I mean look, it's just perfect. So there we are. There's a little video for you today. Oh, one other thing, the piston rings, while they're off. Now that one is called the oil scraper ring, and it goes on the 3rd ring land on the piston, and it's got a small spring inside it, and it does exactly what it says. It actually scrapes the excess oil off the bore so the engine doesn't use too much oil, doesn't burn too much oil. And then you've got 2 compression rings like that, right? and they go inside the bore and they make a seal, and you've got two of them, and so they seal the bore, so when the piston comes up, as you've seen, it compresses the gases and the gases don't go past the piston. So there we are. That's the whole thing what we've got. Right, we'll have another go when I've done some more cleaning.